Hey, Lee Robinson here at American Sentinel K9. In this video, we are going to focus on our pit bull program. This is an American Sentinel pictured here. This is just our home page for our website, which we breed both American Sentinel band dogs and American Pit Bull Terriers. If, like I said, in this video, we're going to focus on our pit bulls, but if you're interested in learning about our band dogs, we have our current breedings, upcoming breedings, our males or females, about our program in general, a little history about the band dog, what it really is. This is a really misunderstood subject. A lot of people think it's just a crossbred dog. That's not the case. Then we have a little bit about John Swinford's program and the protection work and hog catch work that we do with our American Sentinels. Like I said, this is going to be our pit bull page. In our pit bull tab, we have pit bulls for sale, our pit bull program in general, what it's about, what we select for, how we test our dogs, and whatnot. Our male pit bulls, our female pit bulls, a little bit about the history of the Sorrels line, which is a line that we use a lot. I do have some Mayday blood in our program, and Mayday, of course, goes back to Patrick, which is Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone, is what the Mayday blood is, and Patrick blood is what made up Bolio Tombstone. So the Patrick blood and the Sorrels dogs are very similar. We'll discuss that more later. Here's our contact, common questions before purchasing a dog from us. Basically, that's about how we do business. A little bit about our apparel, which is our shirts and our hats and whatnot, and some equipment. We make a lot of our own equipment because I expect things to be very heavy duty. I'm very limited in production on this. I just don't have a lot of time to do that for other people so much. And then a little bit about me, my background. I have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in animal sciences. You can see my diplomas here by clicking on these things. I'm certified in AI. There's a certification for that and whatnot. Then, as you continue, I recommend this article on animal behavior. Um, this, if you're going to have a dog from us, I highly recommend that you learn what motivates a dog. There's a lot of breeders and trainers and handlers out there that really don't understand canine behavior very well, and as a result of that, it impacts their ability to differentiate a good dog from a not so good dog. A lot of people just love every animal that walks by, and that's cool if you want to love it. But loving an animal and breeding an animal are two different things. When you breed an animal, you need to make sure that we're talking about apex individuals that really contribute to the program. And to do that, you need to understand canine behavior so you can breed the animal properly. There's different reasons why dogs do things. Drive is what motivates a dog to do something. And so the prey drive is the desire to hunt, chase, catch, and kill. Confuse that with defense drive, which is just a fight or flight response. And if you have fight or flight, sometimes the dog will show aggression, but really it's not interested in being there. It's interested in running away and leaving. So that's two different types of behavior. Then you have fight instinct, which is a little bit different than prey drive. Some people get their feathers ruffled when you talk about fight drive. They say it's an illusion, it doesn't exist. I disagree with them. I believe fight drive exists. It's a combination of balance and prey and defense, but there's a little bit more to it than that. It's a very intense mode that a good dog will, generally speaking, have this drive, but it's going to lean more toward on the prey side because you want that dog to be comfortable and relaxed, and you'll have endorphins and epinephrine and whatnot that come into play, adrenaline, which is epinephrine. Now, rank drive, dominant type of behavior is a behavior that I do not like in animals that we are going to have live with the family. Intra-species rank doesn't bother me so much. This is rank dog and dog dominance. That doesn't bother me so much, but I'm still not a big fan of it. Interspecies rank, however, is when you have dominance between dog and human. And this is something I try to avoid for a family companion guardian. I do not like dogs that want to dominate people because that can be dangerous around children. Okay. Next, what is a cur? We define that on our website if you want to check that out, as well as what is a game dog. And then also we talk about thresholds. Thresholds is a largely misunderstood topic. It's a transition from one behavior to a new behavior. All right, and this is understood if you're going to get into training. Stability is how level-headed is this dog? Is it going to be something that is unpredictable and dangerous because you never know what the dog's going to do? And also, we look for solid nerves in our animals. So I recommend that you look at the animal behavior page of our website if you're a breeder or trainer, and I also recommend that you look into our canine genetics. But this is a very in-depth article to just get started. This is very basic, but in-depth. All right, so now let's jump over to our pit bulls and go ahead and discuss our program. We focus mostly on the Sorrels family. This dog here is just a was selected for this banner because it shows American Sentinel K9 at the top, but she actually has less Sorrels blood than most of our dogs. She's going to be about 3/4. Most of our Sorrels dogs are going to be higher than 3/4. Okay, um, so this is Bert Sorrels, one of the best breeders in American Pit Bull history, especially in the modern era. Uh, about the only person that I can think matches him would be probably Pat Patrick. Floyd Boudreaux and others, they were great, but Bert Sorrels is one of the best. This is Pokey. Pokey is a dog that are kind of fond of because he was a large catch weight dog. His actual condition weight was about 57 pounds. But I saw this dog now in real life, and he was about 75 pounds on the chain. Could possibly have been up to 80. We like the larger dogs because we use our dogs for legal purposes such as hog catch work and protection work. Now, there's some pit bull enthusiasts that don't like pit bulls being used in protection work, but remember, we have our pit bull program to play a role in our band dog program. Any dog that is crossed that is part pit bull is not a pit bull anymore. Once it's crossed, it goes into the American Sentinel slash band dog category. Okay, so any dog that we call a pit bull is 100% pure ADBA registered American Pit Bull Terrier. Okay, then we have our male page and our female page and our breedings page. Then here's a couple of people that influenced us. Madison Parker is a good friend of mine. I've been friends with him for years, and he was a handler and conditioner, and even a breeder of many of the most famous Sorrels dogs that ever existed. He is still alive and has a breeding program still to this day. Pat Patrick has retired from breeding, but he is a friend of mine as well, and he has actually purchased a number of dogs from us. Probably eight to he's gotten about 10 dogs from us, but he's purchased about 7 or 8. Okay, and over the friendship, he actually gave me this plaque. Here's a picture of me with this plaque that he gave us, which I have passed down to my son. We have a little tribute to Pat Patrick here. If you want to check it out, you can click on that. Okay. Then below, we have a video of Madison Parker right here and Pat Patrick right here speaking about our program. Okay. And then at the top, I should have mentioned this earlier. Here's a little bit about what the pit bull is, a little bit about its history, a link to the first Sorrels dog that we actually obtained, which was Captain Skip. That's Captain Skip. We owned this dog back in 2004. He was born in 2003, but we acquired him in early 2004, and he played a major role in our American Sentinel program. That picture was taken on my property, and I made his collar and leash. All right. All of our pit bulls are registered with ADBA, and the ADBA was purchased by Ralph Greenwood in 1973, but it was actually founded in 1908. A lot of people don't know that the ADBA is that old, but it's been around for over 100 years now. And this is, in my opinion, this is the premier American Pit Bull Terrier registry, and it's the only registry that I use for our pit bulls. The UKC dogs have become more like the AKC dogs today, and the AKC is completely different than the ADBA. These dogs are pure showbred dogs, and in 1936 there was a gentleman by the name of Leitner, and Leitner had a dog named Imp 2. It was competed against a dog named Jeff, and the results of that caused a separation of history. And through divergent evolution over the last 90 years, the AKC dogs have become uh, a breed that no longer represents the true American Pit Bull Terrier history. Okay, they're now show dog and they're a shadow of what they once were. Um, the 1976 Animal Welfare Act discusses the criminal activity of various things that you are not allowed to do for animal abuse. We do not want any clients that are associated with any activity that, of course, could violate this act. Like I said, our dogs are only used for protection work and hog catch work. All right. So somebody might say, well, why do you need gameness? Well, because when you're catching a hog, you don't want a dog that's going to let go. Okay, this animal here, uh, was close to injuring my friend. This is Keaton. He uses our dogs, and he's catching hogs, a number of hogs every year, probably over 100 hogs a year. And this hog here, actually, his ear tore and got away from the dog. It charged him. We actually have it on video. I will probably be releasing that video. What an exciting and lucky hunt this was, because this hog literally fell at his feet dead when he shot it in the ear. All right, right at his feet after it slipped away from the hog. And one of the dogs got 90 stitches, a bunch of staples, and really dangerous situation. These dogs, these hogs can tear up a lot of territory and do millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars to agriculture across the country. So this is why you need a very good dog. Now next, this is my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, you can see Pat Patrick discuss us, but if you click on here, you can see videos, and we have some various videos. You can click on the playlists and see different topics, such as the pit bull topic or other various topics on breeding, protection work, band dogs. I used to have a hog channel on here, but YouTube doesn't like hog hunting videos. They were giving my channel strikes, so I had to take down all of our hog hunting videos. All right, let's see. Here is jackknife. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, so there you go on that. So let's go here and click on our males. Now, the best male that I ever had in terms of pit bulls was this dog here. This dog is Frankie Bomp. Frankie Bomp is a 3/4 Sorrels dog. He's a proven worker. He's an excellent uh, dog in so many ways. His hips are excellent. His bonding relationship with the family is excellent. Um, he has good muscle structure. He conditioned well, but unfortunately, we lost Frankie Bomp on December 13th to an infection called encephalitis that was believed to have been caused by a bug bite. Um, Something that I don't know a lot about, encephalitis, but apparently that's what took him out. We had a necropsy done, and that was the results. It looked like he had a stroke or something like that. His muscles got stiff. He couldn't control his body properly. It turned out he had inflammation in the brain from encephalitis. All right. Here were his stats. He was about 56 to actually 58 pounds on the chain when he was in good condition. The heaviest he ever got was about 62 pounds. In this particular picture here, he's probably close to 58. He's a little bit on the heavy side, but not much. Okay, probably about 58, 56, 58 pounds right there. All right. Let's look at his pedigree. All of our dogs are either going to be Sorrels dogs, or either pure Sorrels dogs, or direct offspring off of him, with one exception. The one exception being Crimson, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So Frankie Bomp was sired by Big Daddy, and his mother is Misfit. Misfit is a 100% pure Sorrels dog. Okay, she goes back to Sidekick and Cupcake. Let's look at Cupcake here. Cupcake is ranked as tied for the number 3 all-time best producer female. Okay, this page already opened up good. We have Honey Bunch number 1, Madison number 2, and Shelby number 3, and then we have Cupcake. Now you see, I said number 3, but look here, it's number 3. Why? Because these two were tied. Okay, they both had 11 points. Cupcake is ranked number 3, and she is also tied because they both had 10 points. So she was one of the top producers of all time, and she is in our pedigrees a number of times. Okay. Sidekick goes back to Pokey, and that was the dog that you saw on my website that showed him being a catch weight dog, but his condition weight was right around 57 pounds. And like I said, I saw him and he was about 75, if not 80 pounds chain weight. Now, Pokey is a grandson of Sailor. Sailor is directly off of Hard Eyes and Bandit. This is the only breeding that Bert Sorrells said he had ever did where every dog in the litter was a game dog. There was not a cur in the litter. Okay, and every time he did it, I mean, it was just every single pup out of that combination worked. And I really like seeing Bandit in our pedigrees because Bandit was, according to him, his best producing female of all time. Okay, so that's going to be Sorrells Bandit, and you can see that she's a direct daughter of Sorrells STP. Now this pedigree here, Preacher. This is STP is Shorty the Preacher. It shows that he goes back to Stu Fowers, um, but that is questionable. However, Madison Parker tells me that he really does believe that STP is a Ed Crenshaw bred dog. That Ed Crenshaw was in the area where Preacher was found, but you could say that this top side would be unknown, except for Preacher. Preacher was definitely the father to Bandit. And if we look at Preacher, you'll see him here. This dog went 2 hours 37 minutes with no out of holds and no turns. He was a legendary dog. This is way back in I guess this would be in the late 70s. It'd be around 78, I believe it is. But anyway, don't take my word on that. Okay, next, let's go back out to Frankie Bump. Now, Frankie Bump's Big Daddy, this is a dog that I try to focus in a lot. And Frankie Bump's a dog I like to focus in on a lot. But the reason why I like to focus in on the Big Daddy and the Pokey dog is because they were pretty good sized dogs. You can see his chain weight here is 60 pounds. His condition weight was 51 pounds. And Big Daddy was double bred on Lala's Chilo. It looks like Lara, but it's pronounced Lala, or Lala, Chilo. Okay. Now there is some Boudreaux coming in here. I think it's here. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be the Boudreaux blood. So there is a little bit of Boudreaux blood coming in into Frankie, but there's also going to be a lot of Sorrel's blood if you click back into this pedigree. So Chilo was off of Sorrel's larceny. So we have Sorrel's there. And like I said, the dog was double bred on Chilo, so we're going to have Chilo here. We have some outs as well. So let's see. Bernice. I believe that's a Sorrel's dog also. Yes, it is. Okay, so we see the Sorrel's names here in the pedigree. So Chilo's going to be a heavy Sorrel's dog, and then we have some outs coming in through some of this other stuff. So that's going to basically put Big Daddy around 50%. And since Misfit was 100%, that's going to put Frankie Bump at around 75%. So he's basically 3/4 Sorrel's. All right, and we have a number of dogs off of him. And even though we did lose Frankie Bump, which is a terrible loss, we do have enough semen collected on him to do 5.75 breedings. I was hoping my vet would round that up to 6 so we could save a little semen from each breeding and get 6 breedings out of it. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to take that extra 75% of a breeding and space it out over the other 5. So we get a solid 5 breedings from Frankie Bump. So we are no longer having him available at stud. He is going to be DNA. We have a sample of his DNA and is being analyzed now for confirmation of the breedings that we do with him in the future. All right, so that's our Frankie Bump dog. Now we're going to scroll up to the other. We're going to look at the other males that we have, and we'll see Boomer is a direct son of Frankie Bump, and his mother is 100% Sorrel's dog. That's going to be Rosebud. What a beautiful dog this is. This dog is a very high drive dog, very affectionate. Um, there's videos of her and pictures of her throughout my website or my YouTube channel. She is off of Ugly and Miss Bucky, and Ugly is out of Sidekick, who is off of Pokey, and then also Prissy Little is off of Pokey. Okay, so we have a lot of Pokey blood coming into her top side. Okay, now let's go back. There is some Cottingham blood coming in here. Okay, that's right there. Okay, but other than that, this is a heavy, heavy Sorrel's dog. Let's see here. Something else I wanted to mention. We'll look at one of the other dogs. Well, maybe let's find it. We'll look at it a little bit later. Okay, so that's going to be Boomer. This dog is young in this picture. He's only 10 and a half months old in this picture. He's older now. This is an old picture. He's about 14 months old now. He's really filling out nice. And he's really proving himself to be an excellent worker despite his young age. All right. Now let's jump down to Jackknife. That's Jackknife. Jackknife is an excellent worker, very athletic, naturally conditioned type of dog. People see these pictures of Jackknife and they ask me, "What are you doing to condition your animals?" This is pretty much raw genetics here. I don't do anything except for feed him well and deworm him properly. And when he gets heavy, I feed him less, and when he gets lean, I feed him more. It's really that simple. Jackknife is just a really interesting dog. He's got a lot of drive, a lot of desire to work. His weight is about 44 pounds. Okay, so he's a little smaller than some of our others, but let's look at his pedigree. You'll see he's off a hardcore and screamer. Now here we're going to have a lot of sidekick blood. So, and sidekick, like I said, goes back to Pokey. So you see sidekick, there's Pokey. All right, you can see here's another Pokey, here's sidekick, Pokey, and here's sidekick, so that's going to be Pokey, and there's sidekick, so that's going to be Pokey. And then we have Cupcake in there also, who was that really excellent producing female. So we have a lot of good blood in there, and you can see Prissy Little's also Pokey. So we've got Pokey, 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 Pokey. Well, let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And let's check on Cheddar. And let's check on Bucky. Okay. Oh, I wanted to look for the Bubba Bo dog. Oh, let me mention a couple other things. Now, this is another dog I like to see in pets. Roadblock was another large catch weight dog. Um, let's see. Let's go back to, oh, here we go. Raisin. Raisin is going to be off of Bubba Bo. So when you see Bubba Bo, you know you're going to have some boomerang blood because this dog actually has some boomerang blood in him, quite a bit, in fact. And if you look at his offspring, let's see if it's entered in here. You might see, well, I'll find that one later. Let's see if we can find it here real quick. All right, so there we go on that. Now, next. Now, so this is Jackknife Hardcore and Screamer. Hardcore is an excellent looking dog. Grunt Runt, another excellent looking dog. These dogs were title dogs, as you can see in their names. Okay, and we have Jughead. And like I said, this is a pure Sorrel's dog. Now, I have his sister also, and her name is Pumpkin, but we'll look at Pumpkin in just a minute. All right, so that's going to be it on our males. So we have 3 studs. That's going to be Jackknife, Frankie Bomp, who has frozen semen for 5 readings, and then Boomer. Now let's check out our females. Oh, I know what else I was going to show you. Let's go here. This dog here in this video is actually Bakoti. We'll talk about her in a little bit. But she's kind of a nutcase. Okay, we're gonna bump forward.
Canine. It's January 27th of 2024, and we are going to look at our pit bull lineup here today. Those of you that know me know that we breed the American Sentinel, which is a working band dog for protection work and for hog hunting.
All right, so before we move on to our females, let's look at our males.
All right, so this is Boomer. Boomer was named after that dog, famous dog Boomerang, and Boomer, he is out of Frankie Bomp and Rosebud, the dog we just looked at. He's about 14 or 15 months old right now, and he looks a lot like Sailor. If you're familiar with the Bubba Bo dog in the Sorrel's line, the Bubba Bo dog was a heavy boomerang dog. Okay, anyway, this is, like I said, ASC's Boomer. Just an excellent dog. Don't tear up my camera, buddy. Good boy.
All right, so here we're going to look at Jackknife.
He is also 100% pure sorrels, and his name is Jackknife. Come here, Jack. Jack is an excellent athlete and a self-conditioner. People always ask me when they see this dog, what do I do to keep him in such good shape? I feed him right, deworm him, and let him work himself. This dog is just an excellent dog that keeps himself in great shape. Jackknife, 100% pure sorrels. Good boy, Jack. Good boy. That's Jackknife.
All right, so now we're going to look at our females. First, we have Banshee. Okay, so this is Banshee, and we're going to check out her pedigree. Banshee is a daughter of Frankie Bomb. Like I said, all the dogs that we have on our yard now are either off of Frankie Bomb or they're 100% Sorrel's dogs, except for Crimson. Now, so this is a daughter off of Frankie Bomb. So this is not 100% Sorrel's. Her top side is 3/4, but the bottom side is an out. Okay, this is a full sibling breeding. Lucky 7 was born here, and Wonder Girl was born here, and Komodo was born here. So Komodo is where the brindle color comes from, and she got it from her mother, Wonder Girl. All right, now we'll back up. Lucky 7 is Komodo's father, and this dog, like I said, he was born here also. This is a big dog. This dog weighed 68 pounds on the chain. In right here in this picture, he's probably about 67, 66. But he was a big dog, and he did get up to 72 pounds, but he was overweight, a little fleshy in that picture. He was born back in 2016. Okay, so he's going to be approaching 8 years old this year. The This blood is a combination that's heavy on the Mayday blood. If we look at Stone Cold was his tops. He's off of Brick and Mean Girl. Now, Brick and Mean Girl are full siblings. You can see Hitler, Mako, Hitler, Mako. Now, there are other pedigrees on this dog that are falsified because the person took Shoto's name off of the dog and put their name on it instead, and they even changed Mean Girl's name completely. I like to use the APBA names. A dog should only have one name. It shouldn't be one name here in this registration and then another name in another registration. Our dogs are registered with the APBA, so I use the names that are actually used on the APBA, even though it is the same dog. When this person bought when the person that changed the peds bought Mean Girl, he changed her name to Honey Bear, and he put his name, took Tony Shoto's name off the dog, which I don't like to do that. I like to keep the original breeder's name in front and the owner's name in the back. All right, but anyway, regardless of that, let's look at the Hitler dog, and you'll see that Hitler was heavily bred on Mayday. We got Mayday and Mayday there, and then we also have Mayday here, and then we have some deadlift blood coming in as well. Okay, now next is back out, and we see Mako. Mako, we're going to have the Travis blood, the Tance blood, and then we have Mayday again, again, and again. So basically, we can see that these dogs are heavily bred on Mayday. All right, and I like the Mayday dogs because they're catch weight and they're high quality catch weight. Catch weight is not enough; it's got to be a high quality dog. So that's how this dog is basically put together. It's a heavy bred Mayday dog. All right, so let's see here. Um, Stewart's Wild Thing. See, Stewart is the one that produced the Wild Thing dog of ASC. I put my name after the dog. The people that are hanging peds would put ASC's Wild Thing. When they own her, they would put their name in front. I don't do that. I leave the breeder's name in the front and the owner's name in the back when it's a different person. Since I owned and produced this dog, um, there's nothing, there's no name after her. I have since sold this dog to a friend of mine, and I need to put of Deep South Sentinels now because Deep South Sentinels now owns this female. I just need to update that. Okay, now let's move on. Banshee is in my video here. We're going to click over here, and she's closer to the end. So let's go get a glimpse of Banshee. I really like this dog a lot. That Mayday blood uh, was improved, in my opinion, with the Frankie Bomb influence.
Now, Banshee has some pups that we're looking at. We got one left available.
That's true. We
Come
still
here,
have one.
Banshee.
We were planning on keeping. I'll pause
Come here,
this.
girl. Good girl, Banshee.
We're planning on keeping two, but we have since decided to keep one. The website shows one available, but that's not the one we actually have available. That one's been sold, and I'm actually going to sell one of my personal keepers.
Banshee. Banshee is a tremendous athlete. Let me bring that camera a little closer.
This is a nice white dog. She's about 50 pounds,
Watch me.
maybe even 52.
Tag the
Pretty,
camera.
pretty good sized female. Combination
Come here,
of
Banshee. Good girl.
Mayday.
Banshee is a tremendous athlete. Her father is Frankie Bomp, and her mother is Komodo. For those of you that don't know, Komodo is out of Lucky 7 and Wonder Girl. Lucky 7 and Wonder Girl were excellent dogs. They were heavy on the Mayday blood. They had some Cottingham and Crenshaw up in there, but they were Red Boy, Jocko, Bolio, Tombstone because they were heavy on Mayday. And so that's how we got Banshee, was breeding that brother-sister breeding, which was Lucky 7 and Wonder Girl to each other to make Komodo. And then we bred Komodo to Frankie Bomp. So again, this is another daughter off of Frankie Bomp. Good girl, Banshee.
All right, now next I need to update my website here because we have a female that's not listed on the website yet, and her name is Bakoti. So we'll go ahead and look at Bakoti because Bakoti is actually Banshee's sister. I don't know if I have her even listed yet. I do not. I need to add Bakoti to the listing. So we're going to back up and get my video.
Now this is her sister. Her sister's a year younger. She's not old enough to breed just yet. She's less than a year old, I'm sure. Banshee's about 2.5. This dog here is not even 1 year old, I don't believe. I'd have to double check. This is a high drive bitch. She's probably going to tag my camera. Come here, girl. Good girl. Now I named her Bakoti. Bakoti. Bakoti is a. I got to hold her. She's going to grab my camera. Girl. All right, now Bakoti is a type of wood that's used to make bows. She may have broke my camera, so I'm going to take the mic out and we'll see if I have to repeat this again. Good girl, Bakoti.
All right, next we have two pups here, and I'm going to go ahead and do them now, even though they're not on the website at all. This is the one we're keeping. Her name is Marvel, and this is the one that we're thinking about letting go. Her name is Abyss. There's nothing wrong with this dog in terms of attitude or drive or confidence, structure, except for she's got an underbite. Her underbite's about 1/4 of an inch. Not a big deal at all. Uh, she was about the same size as the males. This is a big female. This was a giant female. Despite being a female, she was actually bigger than all of her brothers by a good bit. And I like those catch weight dogs, so we're wanting to focus in on this. This breeding here is a father-daughter breeding. So let's look at our peds here and on Banshee, and we look at offspring. We actually bred Frankie Bomp back to Banshee. So this is a double bred Frankie Bomp breeding, okay, with the out being heavy Mayday. So it's no surprise that we did have a pretty large female.
All right, and we have two pups off of Frankie Bomp and Banshee. We're definitely keeping the bigger one. This little one, I was really thinking about keeping her. Her temperament's really good, but she is a little undershot. Whoop, hey, girl. And so we may let her go. She's wanting to check out the camera. I better pick up the camera or they break it again. Hey, guys. All right, so these are the two that we have off of Frankie Bomp and Banshee, which is a father-daughter breeding. Don't break my camera. I've already had it broken once.
It's hard to make some of those videos.
All right. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pick these puppies up. All right, so these are the girls off of Frankie Bomp and Banshee. So that's a father-daughter breeding, making them double bred on Frankie Bomp. The one in my left hand here, we're definitely keeping her. The one in my right hand, we're planning on keeping her as well, but she is about 1/4 of an inch undershot. This one in my left hand wants to keep going to the camera. So, but she is about a quarter-inch undershot. Her ears are already cropped, and we may let her go.
That's the one we're talking about letting go. The one that was in my right
Good
hand.
girl.
The one that was in my right hand was the one that was undershot. And that's the one we're thinking about letting go. Not a big deal. It doesn't bother people.
Beautiful pups. You can't even see them. Got to back up the camera. Hey guys. Good girl. Yeah. There you go. Now you can see them. So this is the one that we may have available. Hey guys. Couple of sweethearts. Again, double bred on Frankie Bump. If you're interested in this one, let me know. I will sell her. She's about a quarter of an inch undershot, but she's double bred on Frankie Bump, which is the best pit bull I've ever owned in my life.
All right. So next we have Black Betty. Black Betty is another daughter of Frankie Bump. So here we have Frankie Bump bred to Suki. Suki is out of Slippin' Jimmy and Boots of Blacksmith. And if you'll notice, Slippin' Jimmy's also off Big Daddy. So this here, these two dogs, Frankie Bump and Slippin' Jimmy, are actually half brothers sharing a common father of Big Daddy. And so I like this breeding because it allows us to focus in on that Big Daddy blood. And Slippin' Jimmy was a proven dog as well. He's a little lighter than I personally like, but so what? All right. And then we have the bottom side here of Boots Blacksmith, so that's going to be the out. Okay. Um, so that's another Frankie Bump dog that we have. She's a big bitch. She's over 52 pounds. She's probably 54. I got 52 pounds here, but she's actually a little bit bigger than that. All right. Next we have Cayenne. Cayenne is another daughter of Frankie Bump. So you can see I'm really focusing in on this dog quite a bit, and I do have semen where I can use them again. But the bottom side here is 100% sorrels again. We owned Miss Bull for a number of years, and I recently gave her to a friend of mine, and we're going to do a breeding with Miss Bull again, and that'll probably be her final breeding. She's getting about 8 years old now. Let's see if it's got a birth date on here. I don't know if it does or not. But anyway, that's Miss Bull. Yeah, so she was born in 2015. So at the end of this year, she'll be 9 years old. She's 8.5, a little less than 8.5 right now because we're in January. So we'll do one more breeding with her, probably back to Boomer. Okay. Um, and anyway, that's how Cayenne is put together. And we may breed her to Jackknife, but probably Boomer. Anyway, so this is Cayenne. She's off of Frankie Bump and Miss Bull. 100% sorrels on the bottom, 3/4 on the top, making Cayenne 7/8 sorrels. Next we have Crimson. So this is the only dog that I own that is not 100% sorrels or sired by Frankie Bump. So we're going to look at her pedigree, and her bottom side is pure sorrels. Okay, so you can see this is all sorrels right here. Her top side, though, is only going to be about 50% sorrels. So we're going to look at this Chunk since that's going to be the out dog. And Chunk he's got sorrels in him, but he's also got Patrick and Greenwood in him. And he's also got Maloney in him. And the Patrick and Greenwood blood, it goes back to the same foundation family as Bert Sorrell's dog, which is going to be the Zeke Goldie combination. All right, and you'll see that there's also going to be a lot of the Tudor and Carver blood, which is Black Widow, especially Black Widow, so it mentions that here. And then the Greenwood, the Patrick, and the Maloney, it's like a different branch of the same tree. So even though this is a the same family, this is a loosely line bred dog. Okay, so they're all the same line. They're just different names because these are different people. So Bert Sorrells, Pat Patrick, and Ralph Greenwood are different people that bred very similar lines. In fact, if we look at this Greenwood dog here, you'll see that Greenwood is basically a lot of Sorrells blood. Okay, and you see the Maloney blood that I was talking about there, and that happens several times throughout this pedigree. The outs that are in this dog are different branches of the same tree. So even though this dog is, as a result, basically going to be 7/8 sorrels, it's really a loosely line bred dog is what this is. Next, we have Miss Bull. We looked at her briefly. She is a 100% pure sorrels dog. Okay, you can see they've got Pokey in here 3 times. This is a heavy Pokey bitch. It's ironic that she's as small as she is, but she's actually produced some pretty good sized dogs as well. And this is a tough little jip. Now, Pumpkin, this is one of my favorite dogs as well. I like Banshee and Bakoti and Pumpkin and Jackknife. I like every dog I owned. If I didn't like them, I would have got rid of them. But because I'm not going to keep something I don't like. But especially after 24 years of breeding. But if we look at her, we'll see that she is a littermate sister to the Jackknife dog that we talked about earlier. There's Jackknife. That's her brother. So she is a sister to Jackknife off of Hardcore and Screamer. So we're going to have Sidekick, which is Pokey. There, one, two, three, four, five, and Prissy Little was also off of Pokey. So we have Pokey in there 6 times. I think it was one, two, three, four, five, 6 times. That's correct. All right. Next, Rosebud. This is a absolute beautiful dog. Loves to work. Very affectionate. One of the things I love about the Sorrells dogs in general is they are just so affectionate and good with the family. Very gritty, high drive dogs, but very stable. And she's off of Ugly and Miss Bucky. So you'll see Pokey in here twice on her. And then she has an out that goes back to the Cottingham stuff. Okay, but Bert Sorrells used that in his pedigree. So this is still a 100% Sorrells bred dog since Bert was using that blood. Okay. So that's going to be Rosebud, and she is the mother of Boomer and also Scarlet. So we'll see Boomer here and Scarlet, and she's all these two are siblings, but she's also the mother of our Crimson dog right there. But that was a different breeding, different sire. Right now, here's Scarlet. This is the picture. She's young here. She's more mature than this now. These are photos that I need to update. She's actually 41 pounds. And let's check out her ped. She's got the same ped as Boomer, being off of Frankie Bump and Rosebud. All right. So let's go back to that video and we'll check out Scarlet. This is Scarlet right here. And that's it. So I hope you like what you see, and we'll keep doing the best we can. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. If you have any questions, reach out to us.